Welcome to Real Conversations with Patricia Baranovsky-Schneider, the podcast that takes you on a journey around the world to meet some of the most inspiring and accomplished individuals. Discover their stories, uncover invaluable business lessons from their paths to success, and gain exclusive insights on how to apply their strategies to elevate your life and business.
Hello, and welcome to Real Conversations with Patricia. I'm your host, Patty Baranowski-Schneider. Today, I'm joined with Sid Mohasseb. He's an entrepreneur, philosopher, founder, investor, innovator, university professor, author, and problem finder. He's been featured on Times, Fox, and Forbes. So welcome, Sid. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Pat. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hope all is well. About me. I am originally an immigrant. I came to the States when I was 16 and built my first company when I was out of college, actually still in college, and did some work as a consultant, made it as a partner of a consulting firm. So that first 10 years of my life was in the consulting, and I did helped very, very large organizations. Then I started my own firm in turnarounds. So I helped companies that were not doing well to turn around and do well, and starting other companies, mostly in technology. Did that for about 10, 15 years, and then got into the investment business. So I started investing in early stage companies, applying the same kind of concepts that we've done for other places. And since then, I've been doing that. I've been making investments in early stage companies. As you mentioned, I've plenty of articles in various places, probably 100 of them or so, from Time magazine to Harvard Business School and so forth. I guess you could say that I'm old and I think I have something to say.
But you must be bored because,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm reading all this. I'm like, wow, jack of all trades. That's awesome.
Yeah, I believe in creativity. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. No, that's
I still
awesome.
teach at USC, the University of Southern California, and both in engineering and business school. And I've got a couple of books, and I still do investments, and I still sit on boards of companies. And I'm just starting something new called the Anabasis Academy.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I keep busy.
Yeah, I see that.
It keeps me out of trouble, man.
Yeah.
It's good to be active.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Okay, so you're often referred to as the entrepreneur philosopher. So how do philosophy and entrepreneurship intersect in your life and work?
Well, philosophy and entrepreneurship do not disconnect, not only in my life, in nobody's life. It's just that we are under the illusion that they are separate.
Okay.
Entrepreneurship is about, it's not about money. This, unlike what people believe, it's about the desire, the talent that we all have, and it's a genetic thing.
Right.
To exchange what we have with something better. And we define the better of what it is, and we define the how, and we define this idea of risk, because you cannot guarantee that if you want something, you're going to get something. So if you look at the world that way, from that lens,
Right.
then everything we do is essentially a subject of how we think, how we act, how we behave, how we see the world, and it's based on our own philosophy of life.
Okay.
So if you truly want to be a good entrepreneur, you must be looking at building your own philosophy. And if you're a philosopher of any sort, thinking about life, you can't ignore this idea of things being entrepreneurial from birth.
Right. Yeah, it's not a cookie cutter approach. You can't read a book and make it happen. You have to make it your own. So,
Well, I always say that life and entrepreneurship is not like going to IKEA and buying a bookcase.
Yeah.
And said, okay, let's take A and boom, 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 cut it and paste it to B and so forth. And I'm sure there's some people that don't like me out there, but uh, this ideas that we're facing and bombarded on internet and social media that hey, 1, 2, 3 and you're a trillionaire, one, two,
I
three and
know.
you're a billionaire. Well, they're just nonsense.
Yeah.
They're just bamboozling people. And this idea that people can be motivated with okay, so you're an Olympic medal winner, good for you, but that's
Right.
I'm not you.
Yeah.
We all come from different backgrounds, different, we played with different people, we loved
Yeah.
different people, we love, we played with different toys, we had
Right.
different cousins, and we're just absolutely not the same.
Right.
And this idea that, hey, because I can accomplish nonsensical things, then you can do the same.
Well, it's
Yes,
funny.
you can, but
Yeah.
not because I motivate you,
Right.
because I can, because you
Because you
can.
can. Yeah. Well, it's funny because I get bombarded with a lot of these people. Again, the quick fixes. You can make all this money in X amount of time and blah, blah, blah. But when I probably get 10 of them a week. And each one, this is $150 to sign up for this one. Some of them are like $5,000.
Yeah.
And when you start calculating, sometimes they'll do like an hour-long webinar or 2, 3 hours or 2, 3 days. And you start seeing the list of hundreds and thousands of people on these, and you start calculating what they're charging. That's how you're a millionaire. But you're not saying that.
Yeah. So there was an old joke that says, "Hey, how do we become a millionaire?" It says, hey, you send people, you ask people for $1, and if a million people give you $1, you're a millionaire.
There you go. There'll be someone out there doing it.
Yeah. So here's I think where I am in life. As I mentioned, I still write, I still do things, and but I'm starting this academy with this same idea that you just mentioned, that we're not the same and it's not cookie cutter.
Right.
And the whole idea of the academy is it is absolutely nonsense that we get these people charging us so much and doing all this stuff, and
Yeah.
it's nonsense. And the only way that we can accomplish is to realize that we are unique. The only way to do that is to understand our mindfulness, understand the different, and understand that we are genetically entrepreneurs. It's our talent. We own it. Nobody injects it into us. And the only way is to provoke you to see that life is an incremental growth process.
Yeah.
All you want
100%.
to do is build your next best version, whatever that
Right.
is. You are the art and you are the artist.
Right. I agree 100%.
And so that's what the academy is about. And um, we've actually have sponsors who pay for people to join the academy. These
Oh,
are
nice.
companies and my friends who I've helped over the years, and they say, "Don't worry, I pay for them."
Oh, that's awesome. That's nice when
Uh,
people give back like that,
Yeah.
because they obviously
So
see the value.
that's the idea, and we have we're going to launch. We already have about 1,000 or 2 people that are going to be on the system at the launch. We're going to be in all over the world, and from Philippines to U.S. to Europe and so forth. So in India.
That's
So I'm very
awesome.
excited about it.
Nice. Now, you spoke a little bit. So your journey began with a remarkable independence at a young age. So how did the early experiences shape your entrepreneurial mindset?
Well, again, if you and this I've come to look back and analyze. It's like Monday morning quarterbacking as opposed to really at that time realize.
Right.
Uh, I came here at 16 to the U.S.
Right.
by myself. I didn't, and
Right.
now that I look at it, is I did not shape being an entrepreneur. Meaning, I didn't intentionally try to be, who I am.
Right.
I was an entrepreneur, and I just started practicing it. And I think, to be honest with you, every immigrant is an entrepreneur because they exchange that they come to United States or wherever they go
Right.
because they want to exchange whatever they have, their situation, with something better.
Yeah.
And they realize that there is risk. They may be kicked out. They may not
Right.
have a job. There are lots of challenges. So if you truly look back, I think started practicing my entrepreneurial talent sooner than some others.
Right.
Um, let me open this up a little bit because it sounds a little bit maybe esoteric. You may have a job somewhere.
Okay.
You may work for a company. You get up in the morning and you drive at 6 o'clock in the morning and you go through these idiotic meetings of some sort,
Mhm.
and then you get paid. You take what you had. What you had was your talent. What
Mhm.
was the expertise in being a craftsman or being an engineer or being a
Right.
marketing person or whatever, and you started working and you exchanged your time with money.
Right.
Maybe with benefits because you weren't doing, you had a pre-existing condition. Maybe it was a close place and they would let you work at home, or maybe they
Mhm.
had some options that you decide that you're going to exchange your time and effort and expertise with a company and get some money for it. And then you will bring that money home and you will decide, do I want to have a bigger home or do I want to have a smaller home and save for my children to go to college? And then
Mhm.
you decide if you're taking that money, are you going to Disneyland with the kids? Are you cooking? What are you doing? So you are exchanging essentially your time and effort with something better, which is the
Right.
joy of your children or them being able to go to school, or you may come home and take a crafts and game, or with your husband and with your wife go to a dance class. You
Mhm.
choose.
Right.
What happens is we forget that we're choosing.
Yeah.
And it is that choice that really is your talent of exchange.
Interesting.
You do have the talent.
Right.
You just don't realize that we have the talent. And
Right.
then there is the risk to say, how if I go start that thing, then I may not have even this to take my
Right.
children to this. But how do I pay for my rent? And how do I so it's that risk
Right.
that needs to be figured out, which is based on building capabilities, building the slowness, the incremental growth.
Right.
That's a planning issue. It's not a mindset issue. It's not an
Right.
incapability issue.
Right. That's a good analysis of it. Yeah,
So
but
that's
it
why
is
they call
true.
me the philosopher, you see?
Yeah, but it makes sense because you don't, these are things that people just go through the motion. They don't realize like what's involved in that. Yeah, true.
And people, I talk about choice and change a lot, and people say, well, how do I know I'm an entrepreneur? Say, okay, here's what I want you to do. The next time you go grocery buying, you can go buy grocery, stop at the door and decide which grocery store you want to go to. The one on this corner or the one on the other corner. And then look, this one is closer, that one is cheaper. This one is this, that one. You have choices.
Yeah.
You just don't exercise them that way.
Yeah, this is
Or
true.
in your mind, you choose, not knowing that you're actually choosing.
Right.
The minute you know that you have a choice, you realize truly, I have a choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it may be limited. Some people say, "Oh, I live in the projects," or "I am 80 years old," or "I'm this." Yeah, your choices are not the same as a 10-year-old if you're 80, but you still have choices. They're
100%.
different.
Yeah. 100%. Now tell us, you mentioned that the wounds of failure led to your next best version. So can you share a personal example of how failure led to growth or success?
Of course, many. Um, I I have I made an investment with somebody. I made an investment in a company that we bought from DuPont. I brought somebody who I thought was a competent guy, and I put him to run the company, and I was on the board. I found out that the guy, it was and I had investors that I brought in. It was my choice to put this guy in,
Okay.
and he turned out to be a crook. He forged our signatures and my
Mhm.
signature and all that sort of stuff. So at that time, so it was clearly my failure of choosing this guy. Okay. Now, some people don't want to accept, responsibility. I brought the guy in. Anyways, so the failure. at that point, I had a choice: follow him criminally, do all that sort of stuff, and it would mess up the company. We had 180 people. This was a turnaround company.
Okay.
We had 180 people. We had so do I mess up their entire life and get this thing dragged down um, and then we had the investors, and I had to go to them and say, "Hey, you see that the bank account is empty because this guy." So, so it was a clear failure. Now, do I make this failure a bigger failure,
Mhm.
or do I learn something out of it
Right.
and do something with it? Now, I paid the investors back,
Mm.
and I did not follow this guy criminally. Um, and we kept the company alive. Now, one could say, "Hey, you should have nailed the guy to the wall and blah blah blah." But for me, that was a failure, and I paid for that failure.
Mhm.
But then I learned the value of trust more than I ever valued it.
Right. I'm sure.
Trust
Yeah.
is absolutely critical in growth, in
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, in our life. Trust cannot be built,
Right.
cannot be purchased. It has to be earned.
That's 100%. Wow. I'm sorry to hear that. But you definitely, you definitely have broader shoulders than most people.
Well, that is life. It's not a matter of broader shoulders. It's a matter of putting things in perspective.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't believe that I can build something else, then shame on me.
Okay. Well, that's good. I mean, that's what you're helping other people realize. So I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now,
yeah. I preach what I really do. I mean,
no, that's
it's not
good
what
because
I'm.
a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, as an entrepreneur, investor, educator, and advisor, how do you balance these diverse roles while maintaining a clarity of purpose?
That's a good question. It's a good question because I have something else. I gotta jump back into my philosophical approach.
Go for it.
I have a problem with balance.
Okay.
Okay, balance is not achievable. Balance is like we go and buy tomatoes and we put them on this, and okay, this is
Scale.
1 pound of
Yeah.
tomato. Balance is not achievable, but harmony is.
Okay.
Um, if you look at if you look at a symphony, if you look at a music band,
Okay.
they don't work like you play 10 minutes of jazz. I mean, or 10 minutes of drums, 10 minutes of guitar, 10 minutes of this and piano. That doesn't work. It would be broken. It's a harmony that matters. It's not how much do you do A and how much do you do B. It's the whole thing.
Right.
All these instruments playing what is what makes the music.
Right.
And you have a choice of what instruments you have in your life.
Right.
Somebody has 3 kids and baseball games and soccer games, and somebody else is, they play music, and somebody else is. We're all different. You play with the instruments are different.
Right.
So I have a problem with people who want to balance work and life. And let me explain to you. If I'm an employer, and I think that if you are a mother at 10 o'clock in the morning and your son is sick, you're not thinking about him.
Mhm.
I am just an absolute fool. I am a fool to think that way, that you have compartmentalized. And if you go home at 5 o'clock and you turn off everything about your future, your creativity, your building, you are a fool because you're compromising the future of that same child.
Right.
Because you're not thinking, how do I grow? How do I build? How do I do things? You're away from mechanical processes and you can have your imagination,
Right.
build new things. You could be a better person at work. You could build. You could get, you could get a promotion. You should be thinking about the well-being of your family. If you're not, you're a fool. What
Right.
balance?
Yeah.
It's harmony. No, I'm not saying that every night you wake up at 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning and not pay attention, and that's not balance. And it's not balanced if you go to work and every day you don't pay attention to work and you're just doing, thinking about home. That's not balanced. Then you're not in balance.
Right. No,
So it's harmony that matters.
right.
So how do I do all of this stuff? Because I look at harmony. I'm not when I teach, I'm thinking and learning from the people, my students,
Right.
and I do actually take some stuff and when I'm at the advisory, I apply it
Right.
because I
I,
just learned that
yeah.
people think this way.
I
And,
love
and,
it.
and
The
I'm
philosophical.
miscommunicating this. I should
Yeah.
say it a different way. Or I use their conversations as articles that I write.
I love it. I love the philosophical because it's you're 100% right. Like even with the podcast. I mean, I know some people charge for podcasts, but I just do this. I love learning from people. They learn from me, I learn from them, and it's interesting. And I think if you have a story that people could learn from, by all means. And
Yeah.
even with the business, like some people, it's just like you were told in school, go to school, get a job, blah blah blah. But if you're not thinking it, like you say, with the future, how can I advance? How can I get better? Do I learn more? Take another course, listen to a lecture. You have the goal of advancing yourself, again, and you're happy that you did that, and now you're growing it. So I agree 100%.
See, we don't do things. We don't get anywhere positive where people beat us into getting there.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is why people say, "Oh, follow your passion." Nonsense. What passion? I mean, at 18, what the hell do I know about my passion? It's like follow your lost. Forget about love. Go after lost.
Yeah,
Lost doesn't get you anywhere.
right.
But find love.
Yeah,
Whatever you do, there's greatness in every job in the world.
yeah,
But find the love that gives you pleasure, and find one that actually then. I love music.
right.
I can't play one note. I am so horrible. So if I choose to play music,
Right.
knowing that I'm no good at it, I have to accept that I'm not going to be a millionaire. It's okay.
Yeah.
I've exchanged something for something else that I liked.
Right.
But it was my choice. It wasn't
Right.
you. I can't force you to pay me to listen to horrible music because it's my passion.
Right.
It's stupid. It doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
No,
Doesn't.
yeah.
So my expectation should be aligned with what I do. If I love doing this, okay, God bless, do it.
Right.
But I'm no good at it.
You've accepted that. That's great.
So it's this matter of satisfaction and desire,
Right.
and harmonizing that with our capabilities and realities, and all that. It's not that, oh, I'm passionate about something. Okay, you're passionate about something, good for you. But if you want to go after that and you're not capable of bringing all the pieces of the puzzle together, then don't expect to make a million out of it.
Yeah. That's
It's
100%.
okay. You follow
Yeah.
your passion. You've
Right.
decided to exchange what you have with something better. You decided what you want to exchange, and you decided what is better.
Yeah.
But take the risk. If it ain't good,
Pick and choose your battles. Yeah. Now, you've mentored many entrepreneurs and evaluated numerous startups. So, what qualities or traits stand out to you as indicators of success in founders?
The one that I think people call coachability.
Okay.
I call it listening.
Okay.
There's a difference.
Right.
A lot of people have a problem. Good CEOs, oh, what do you mean coachability? That you know better than I do, and they have opinions. And good, you never invest in a company with a CEO that is less than capable. You want somebody who can be out there and do things, great things, and so forth.
Mhm.
So this idea of, hey, I'm on the front ground and fearless. Um, what I think is most important is listening. Somebody asked me if you wanted to tell your children what to do, what would be the one thing? I would tell them, listen, listen a lot, listen
Mhm.
often, listen more. You see, when we listen, we learn. When we don't listen, we don't learn. It's just simple.
Right,
When we listen, we learn something new.
right.
Now, if I don't listen, that means I don't have any new pieces of information. That means I am making a decision based on compromised information. Right?
Yeah,
If I come and talk to you about a topic, if you're my doctor and I come to you and you say, hey, you see, Sid, you have these seven things and these are the options, and while you're saying that, I'm thinking about my next vacation in Bora
right,
Bora. I'm not listening to you.
right.
And then you say what? And then you say, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to do a surgery or you want to do nothing? Physical therapy. And I'll say, I'll do physical therapy. Now, I haven't listened to you.
Right.
So my decision is compromised. The same thing happens every day in our lives. We don't listen and we make decisions that are compromised. We don't listen because we've already made up our mind.
Yeah,
We are hearing to respond. We're not listening to learn.
that's actually a good analysis. That's 100% true, though. Because you're right, people, anything, they already have their mind made up. So
Yeah.
as you're talking, they're just waiting for the opportunity to say their 2 cents.
Because their satisfaction is to be right. You want to be right. Everybody wants to be right.
Mhm.
They're thinking, how do I dismantle your your argument somehow?
Right.
So I am right.
Mhm.
Who cares who's right?
Right. I always just use the term, let's agree to disagree. You
Yes.
have I want to hear what you have to say, and maybe that'll make me think
I
different.
don't
But
want you to hear it the next time. Listen. Maybe the guy has something.
yeah, you
There's
never know.
You never know if you
Yeah.
give them a chance. Not because of them, by the way. This is absolutely a selfish behavior. So let me. I'm not a feel good, love good. Let's all hear everybody. Let's accept all the ills of
Right.
society. That's not the case. Uh, I want to hear because I want to learn, and that is
Yeah.
my selfish status because I can make a better decision for me.
Right. Yeah.
100% selfish.
Yeah. No, but I do the same with the podcast. I listen to everybody and I love hearing this. I mean, not that I don't have anything else better to do, but I love learning from everybody else. And every podcast, I learn something new. Like I'm learning so much just listening to you now, and so it's good for you, but it's better for me.
Yeah. So I mean this is what I say entrepreneurship. Marriage is an entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
You give and take.
Yeah.
There's an exchange. If you make that into an economic exchange, it goes haywire
Yeah.
because there's harmony. It's not balanced. It's not I
Right.
spend 2 hours with you and 2 hours with my friends and 2 hours at my job and 2 hours. If you look at that, you're gonna have horrible time. You're gonna
Yeah.
have arguments. If husbands and wives are not a part of each other's and their careers and the buildings then it's broken.
No,
And then we say,
100%.
why is it broken? It's broken because we chose to compartmentalize our life. It's broken because the symphony is like this. This guy plays the piano for 10 minutes and then we end, and then that guy plays the drum. There is no music, there's
Right.
just a bunch of
A lot of noise.
independent things playing.
Yeah. No, that's great. Now, we spoke earlier about a book. So, your book, The Caterpillar's Edge, it made Amazon's top 100 business books. So, what's the core message of the book, and how can individuals apply it to their personal and professional lives?
So I have a couple of books. That's the first one. The second one, You're Not Them, was also a bestseller both in philosophy and in business.
Okay.
Uh, so the Caterpillar's Edge has a very simple analogy that is across it, and it's a caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly overnight.
Right.
There are somewhere around 7,000 muscles in a caterpillar.
Wow. I know
And
that.
And as you can see, a butterfly is entirely different species than a caterpillar.
Yeah.
A caterpillar goes through multiple stages. There are some in Amazon that take 14 years to become a butterfly.
Wow.
6 or 7 stages. Normally, it's like 4 stages, three,
Okay.
4 stages that they go through, and then they become a butterfly. A different species, incremental. It doesn't happen overnight. They face risks of starvation, of being attacked, of being eaten by other animals, of
Right.
being right. But when they get there, as the caterpillar turns into a butterfly, the first activity that the butterfly does is to lay the eggs for the next generation of caterpillars. First
Okay.
act.
Wow.
So the idea is life is like a journey. And this journey is not a singular journey. It's not from a beginning to an end. Life has many beginnings, many ends, many progressions, many regressions.
Mm.
Whether we are in business or in our daily life, and you could see that I go back and forth between daily life and because I don't separate them.
Right.
Uh, so if you look at the book has different ideas, but they're connected together. The first thing is about addiction.
Okay.
We are addicted to the sameness. We think we love this idea of comfort zone. We're in our comfort zone, and
Right.
people say, "Oh, you have to get out of your comfort zone and do something nicer."
Right.
You know what I call the comfort zone? The dead zone. Mhm. Comfort zone is when you're not risking anything, you're
Right.
not pushing anything, you're comfortably numb.
Right.
So your next best version is dead. Now, if I and in the book I talk about, for example, the S&P 500. The S&P
Yeah.
500 had the best 500 companies in the world 50, 67 years ago. They started. This is, I believe, in 1957.
Wow.
They picked the best company. How many of those companies do you think are still in the top 500? 15%.
15. Wow.
85% of these greatest companies in the world are gone. But did they turn stupid?
Or they were
What,
in their
what
comfort
happened?
zone.
What happened? And out of those 15%, only 2% are beating the average of the S&P 500.
Wow.
So they're there, but they're not that great. What happened? They became addicted to the sameness of doing the same thing. They got caught in the comfortable zone. Hey, we're doing this. Why rock the boat? Why fix it? It ain't broke.
Mhm. Have to
If
change,
you don't
evolve.
see anything being broken, if you don't see something being broken, that means you are not listening, observing,
Mhm.
because everything is broken
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
It's because you don't like it to be better. Because you're happy with an imperfect thing. Nothing in the world is perfect. Are you perfect? Am I perfect? What is perfect? Nothing is
Yeah.
perfect. You have a company, it makes X dollars a year. Whatever, 10 million. Can it make 11? Of course it can. Can it be more productive? Of course it can. Can it make a better product? Of course it can. Can it make a different product? Of course it can. Well, then why is it not broken and don't fix it? Fixing
Yeah.
means that you don't look at something that is better, which is absolutely against your DNA as an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur says, I am looking for better
Mhm.
because I deserve more
Right.
and I can get more. When you don't want more customer satisfaction, can you get more? Of course you can.
Yeah.
So the thing is, this we're addicted because addiction has this characteristics. It makes us feel good, and it wants us to get more of the same. You're alcoholic or you have drug addiction. You want more of the
Right.
same to
Yeah.
feel the same way. But then it gets to a point that you can't feel the same way because what you have is no good anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
So this addiction is something that stops us from growing, stops us from, and then you've got other ideas that the life is, as we know it, is probabilistic path. Nothing is for certain in the world.
yeah.
Name one thing that is for certain. Nothing. Nothing. I think it's Plato that says that we must distinguish between what is always becoming and never is, and what always is and never becoming. Becoming means changing.
Right.
Everything in the world at a cellular level is always changing.
Right.
But we want to stop it. We
People
want to
creature
manage it.
habits.
We have departments in organizations manage the change, control it. It's like it's an avalanche that's coming to us. It's the horrible, it's the most horrible disease approaching us.
Change
Now
for the
imagine if
good.
you had no Japan. Imagine you have kids, man.
Yes.
Imagine how old are they? If I may.
Yeah, 35, 32.
Okay. So
Grandkids
let's
now.
say that they were not 35 and they were still 5 because there was no change.
Oh, no.
There was no change. But they were really cute at 5.
Yeah.
But then you did exactly the same thing you did then. The same
No, yeah.
family, the same place, and you ate and you went to the same ball game with them every day. And you had McDonald's for lunch every day. There was no change.
Boring.
Can you imagine that life?
No,
And why the
boring.
hell are we pushing back on change? Change is the only thing in the world that gives you options.
True.
Change. Change is the only friend you have that provides you with options to choose from.
Right.
And if you don't have options to choose from, there is no prosperity. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I think people are afraid of change because they're afraid of the unknown, but that's what makes it exciting,
And let's say it's okay to be afraid. When you're afraid, fear is like an alarm system.
Mhm.
It says, "Hey, we're approaching something we don't know what it is, but it's often something that hasn't happened. So we're looking at it. We're afraid of something. We don't know about something that exactly happens. It hasn't happened yet,
Right.
right? But we're afraid that it could happen. Okay, so let's figure out how to change that scenario, as opposed to being afraid of it happen.
Right.
It's an alarm system. It says this is one of the choices that's not okay. Don't pick that choice.
Yeah.
Let's find another choice.
No, that's awesome. I love your philosophical thinking. Now, you've taught at prestigious universities and led leadership programs. So, what do you believe are the most critical skills for future leaders to develop?
As I said, listening,
Yeah.
listening. So the other thing that's important is trust. Uh, Trust is first begins with you trusting yourself. Not not There's a difference between genuine trust and injected trust, meaning that some young people say, "Oh, I can accomplish the whole thing. I can be this. I'm 5'3". How the hell can I go to NBA and play against LeBron
Right.
James? I am just this. This trusting myself is becoming some nonsensical thing that. Yeah, trust yourself on things that can accomplish, not on the things that cannot be accomplished.
Yeah.
But
Realistic.
then trust yourself.
Right.
Trust yourself first, because when you trust yourself, people would see that you trust yourself.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then you have to trust others because you have an ecosystem. Nobody wins by himself, by herself.
Yeah.
Nobody, ever,
Yeah.
ever.
Right. Being realistic. Yeah.
So other people have to trust you. And if you trust yourself and other people trust you,
Right.
you've got something.
Yeah. That's awesome.
You can build things, you can create things.
Right. Now, tell us what your experience in turnarounds and acquisitions. What advice would you give to business leaders facing uncertain, volatile environments?
Um, So in that book, I say three things: align with uncertainty,
Okay.
appreciate reality, and look for more ahas.
Right.
So let me explain.
Yeah.
We uh, we get used to this certainty thing. We even, in business, we say, "Oh, give me three options of what's in the future," and somebody comes in and says, "Pessimistic, optimistic, whatever." First of all, why do I want to? I mean, here's three options. This is the good, the bad, and the ugly in the middle. Okay, so we're going to plan on the middle. Why? Plan on the good.
Yeah.
What?
Comfort zone.
Like I was once talking to the CEO of a rather large car company,
Okay.
and he says, "Yeah, our plan is 9.5% growth this year." And I said, "Why not 10?" He said, "Well, our team came in with 9.5%." I said, "Oh, so why not 11?" There was no there was no description of why not. It's
Yeah.
just okay. We have some mathematical thing and we average this thing and we say okay. So all of that is basically nonsense. It's bullshit.
It's
Okay.
comfort zone. Yeah. Because it
So
can't
the
be
thing,
wrong because it's analyzed.
yeah, because it's analyzed.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The thing is, life is not about being pessimistic, optimistic, and there's a reality to it, and that reality is always based on probabilities. Probabilities that are a function of who you are, where you are, where other people are, where things are. So you're facing some issues in business.
Yeah.
I had one issue. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago. They work with a provider. Assume it's a distributing company, and they're getting stuff from somebody else. They have changed their parameters in terms of what they're paying. Oh, the whole world is now horrible. Okay, why are they changing it? Well, this is the
Mhm.
three problems. They have this problem. Let's go solve that problem. And they would, and we did. And everything is hunky dory. They're making more money now than they did last week, where it was absolutely chaos. But because we don't want to look, we are comfortable with doing this thing. And if that thing changes, then because it's not harmonized, it's just ones and zeros.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
no, people tell me that how you make things simple, but in real life it's not simple. In real life, it's even simpler than I'm saying.
Right.
And it's not that I'm, the most genius person on the face of the earth. I'm not.
Mhm.
The key is that we're all entrepreneurs. We're all capable of doing the same thing. It's
Right.
just being able to detach yourself, look at probabilities of events,
Mhm.
and look at others. Others are just like you. They want to be satisfied. They're entrepreneurs too.
Yeah.
So, getting through these challenges and so
Mhm.
forth. So, one has to do with this notion of aligning yourself with uncertainty. It is things are uncertain. Two is appreciating reality of what we can do, reality
Right.
of what they need, the reality of situations. And
Right.
so this is the thing. Some people again tell me, "Oh, you're against goal setting." No, I'm not. I love to
You're
go to the
being
moon.
realistic. Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying that it's a caterpillar to butterfly. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't flip the switch. It's not having a
Right.
goal.
Right.
It's I've got to go from step one to step two to step three. You want to jump from step one to step 14.
Yeah.
And then you fall. And then you say, "Oh, why did I fall?" Well, you fell because you didn't. It was figure out your capabilities. Oh, let's get you a ladder and we can get you to step 14. Let's go build an elevator and we can get you to the second floor faster.
Yeah.
But
Process.
it's not just because you want to be there, you can be there.
Right.
This doesn't work. And there's a risk to it.
Yeah.
If I go one step by one step, I take this much risk. If I want to jump from step one to step 14, I may fall.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm taking the risk.
Yeah. Baby
Be
steps.
prepared for
Yeah.
it. It's life is filled with probabilities.
Right.
The other thing, and the last thing, and I finish on last question, is to be looking for ahas. And what is an
Okay.
aha? You know, when when you when you have a situation and you have a problem, think of anything at home. Think of losing your keys, and then you say, I found it. Think of any problem. When it gets solved, you say, aha, aha, is the moment that the solution to a problem becomes crystal clear in your mind. You say, aha. That is when an insight is formed.
Okay.
Okay? So what I say is look for more ahas.
Okay.
That means you're looking for problems and the solutions to those problems.
Right.
Look for those things. And the more aha moments you have, the better off you have.
Right. Instead of just
Look
beating up
across
the
your
negative.
business,
Yeah.
anywhere it is. Look at your life and say, aha, you know? If simple, I couldn't get to the baseball game every night because because I'm late from work and it's okay. Let's look for aha moment, which is solving that problem. And if you did that, check mark, a part of life is solved.
Yeah. Some people just like to deal with the negative, like, oh, this always happens. But they don't look for that aha. Like, how can you change this? How can you fix this? Yeah.
Because it's easier.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to find a fault.
Yeah. But that's where the hard work comes in. Put in the hard work and you'll reap the reward. Yeah. Nice. Now, anything else you want to add that we didn't already talk on? Any new books, any new endeavors? I mean,
No,
you said the
I think
program.
the academy is the one that I'm and it's Ana Basis, by the way. Ana Basis, Ana
Okay.
ANA
Yep.
basis, meaning moving the base upward.
Okay.
Ana
Yes,
is
see
a
your logo.
Latin word.
Okay.
Ana basis, meaning the base, moving the base upward.
Okay. Nice.
It's anabasisacademy.org.
Okay.
We're launching it, and it has a series of things that I think would be interesting to people. One is we're going to have every 2 weeks a massive, I think more than thousands of people are going to be joining, a massive get together.
Okay.
And we'll talk about one topic. It could be fear, it could be resilience, it could be
Okay.
it could be any one of these topics, and we drill down.
Right.
And then we'll have the opportunity for people to do Q&A, and we usually have a hot seat. And hot
Okay.
seat is some entrepreneur would come and talk about their business for 2-3 minutes, and we'll just drill down on it
Okay. Well, that's good.
live.
Right. Oh,
And
okay.
the platform also provides a series of what I call conversational collections,
Okay.
which is done in conversational format
Right.
and each collection is maybe, I don't know, 6 to 10, 5 to 10 minute videos that they
Okay.
can watch and then there's a lot of interactive community-based stuff. We
Okay.
have something we call the elevation lab, the expert circles.
Okay.
So the idea is this, and I believe this, and I could be crazy, but that's who I am.
It works.
I believe, Pam, we're in a world that is changing really fast, and the challenges ahead of us are massive. But the opportunity ahead of us is also massive.
Right.
And I believe that if you find your next best version, and if I find my next best version, not my perfect version, and if the others do the same, we will have a much better world. And the root of that is in our ability to exchange what we have with something better.
100%.
And that's entrepreneurship.
Yeah. I love what you speak. I think you definitely, I could see where you come as a teacher, but you definitely, your approach is just so down to earth and realistic. And people just need to take a step back and say, you know what, you're right. Because nobody wants to face the truth sometimes. But everything you said is spot
But
on.
the truth is not bad. The
No.
truth is okay if we look at it in the right way.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
The truth that I'm 5'3" and I can't play LeBron James. It's okay, It's getting me closer to food.
Yeah, there you go. You can get the stuff on the
yeah.
bottom shelf. Yeah.
So,
No, but you take the good with the bad. Yeah.
So I hope that your audience would join us. If you have if you're interested, we can give you some. Again, some people will be sponsored; they don't have to pay. It's a mission I'm on the road of, and I would send you. We can say get you some codes. You can share it with your people
Okay,
if you feel
awesome.
that this is something good to do.
Yeah, I love this. I think this is amazing. So definitely send all the information. We'll include it.
Will
Nice.
do.
Now, how could people get a hold of you or learn more about you?
Again, Mohasseb.com, which is my last name, as
Okay.
you could probably see it on the screen.
Yeah, well, I'll include
Uh,
it. Yeah.
and Mohasseb.com, and my email is sid@mohasseb.com. And if you want to be part of the sponsored locations and the academy, just send me an email. I'll put you in touch with the team. They'll get it sorted.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Again, that was Sid Mohasseb. So thanks for listening to Real Conversation with Patricia. Never miss an episode by subscribing to the channel. So thank you again.
Thank you for listening to Real Conversations with Patricia, talking with some of the most brilliant minds on their journey to success and their recommended strategies. Please leave your feedback and visit pristineadvisors.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Feel free to let me know your thoughts, suggestions, and anything else you'd like me to cover. Together, we can make success happen for all.